Hello everybody, Tommyruin here, and in this video I'm going to talk about one of the main problems I'm having at level 60, and that is the Random Enchant system. Now, I love this system. It effectively means that you have talents or lower tier talents on items that are passively there, and you can re-roll them using certain forges around the world to change the enchant which is on the item. I have made a video on this previously which will be linked in the description, but what you do is you use gold or random enchant tokens at these altars to re-roll the item. At the moment, at level 60 and on a decent piece of gear, the gold price is 18 gold per random enchant, which is a lot. So why is there a problem? In my opinion, the price is way too high, and it promotes a grindy gameplay for very little reward. If you grind for, let's say, 100 gold per hour, which is around average if you have a good spot, then you get around 5 random enchants per hour. Now this might sound like a lot to you, and at first when I hit level 60 I was like, wow, okay, I can get the RE set that I want because of this. Well, sadly, you're wrong. The devs have previously said that there are over 3,000 random enchants in the game. I spoke to a few devs and wasn't given a clear number, with some stating that there are over 25,000 entries in the Random Enchant database, and some saying that there are about 1,000. So I'm going to take a number of 2,000, I think that's a safe assumption, and do some simple napkin math so you can work out how broken the system is in terms of rewards. So let's go back to the original example. If you grind it for an hour, you can earn roughly 100 gold on average, and that buys you 5.55 recurring random enchant tokens at 18 gold each. And as you can't re-roll a random enchant with 0.5 of a token, let's be generous, say you got a good epic which you've sold on the auction house, and you've got the extra gold to buy a 6th token. If we use the 2,000 random enchants in the database as a number to work with, as there's no official figure, then re-rolling 6 times gives you a measly 0.3% chance of getting the random enchant which you want. This means that hypothetically, based on the raw numbers, you'd have to farm for 333 hours to get the random enchant you like on one item. Obviously we are dealing with probability, so nothing is set in stone. You might get it the first time and you might never get it, which is another problem entirely. Now, they also have other systems in place that allow you to randomly enchant that doesn't require gold. These were introduced to incentivize group play by adding token rewards. The first dungeon run you do per day using the dungeon finder awards 3 random enchant tokens. This dungeon run can take on average between 7 minutes doing Diamond Tribute stealth runs, and it can take up to an hour doing some of the longer dungeons accounting for things like wipes and breaks. After this first dungeon, you then subsequently get 1 random enchant token per run using the dungeon finder. For the first dungeon of the day, you have a 0.15% chance of getting the random enchant that you like using the tokens, and from subsequent dungeons it drops down to 0.05%. Again, these percentages are very low, requiring obscene amounts of dungeon runs to hypothetically get 1 RE on 1 piece of gear perfect. Furthermore, running dungeons actually requires players to interact with, compared to farming, which is generally a solo effort. The same can be said for battlegrounds, which are more lucrative than dungeons but require more player participation from both factions. A battleground win rewards 3 tokens and enough honour to purchase 2 more tokens, making it just shy of the grinding figure at 5 tokens. This still means that you have to win on average 400 battlegrounds to get a perfect RE, and although battlegrounds are popping more regularly now, that is still a hell of a lot. My concern is simple. There is no feeling of reward with the system. Everything you do gives you such a little chance of getting close to the random enchant you want for your build that it seems almost impossible. I think the token philosophy is flawed. Why would anyone do battlegrounds or dungeons for random enchant tokens if you can grind gold quicker than you can get the tokens? It promotes solo play, which ultimately kills MMOs, as you want players to be interacting in the world and doing things like dungeons and PvP rather than solo grinding. This is one thing that ultimately put me off playing, as the only thing that I was doing was grinding gold for little reward. So, what is my solution? First of all, remove the bullshit cap on tokens and make it a currency. There is no point having a cap on 10 tokens in your bag, so that if you do a dungeon or 2 or 3, you then have to go to the altar to reforge because you have spent all your tokens and you can't gather any more. Secondly, increase the number of tokens you get from group activities. Make grouping up and doing these activities significantly worthwhile so people do them over other activities. I personally don't think 3 random enchant tokens is enough incentive to do anything, looking purely at the numbers. 20 random enchant tokens with roughly 2,000 random enchants in the database gives you a 1% chance of getting the right random enchant. Now, seeing as you have 14 pieces of gear which can be randomly enchanted, you will require a lot of tokens to get the perfect REs. In my opinion, something along the lines of 20 tokens would be a good incentive to do the content and actually feel rewarded. That might seem like a lot, but that is comparing it to the very little tokens we get now. I feel like if the number for participating in dungeons and PvP was increased, then we'd see a lot more activity in the level 60 space. Even if you lost a battleground, getting more random enchant tokens will make you want to do it and make you keep queuing, rather than just losing and getting one measly token. Another thing that I would like to see changed is how the system works entirely. Because it is so costly and so time invested, it does not promote rerolling items that have adequate but not perfect random enchants. If you got an RE that works for your build on a good item, but not the perfect one, there is no way you are going to re-roll it because it will most likely lose a decent RE to get an absolutely awful one. What I suggest, and what a lot of people have also suggested, is making it so that the random enchant you re-roll isn't automatically applied to the item. Rather, you have the choice to apply it. This will make people take chances on items they have already have decent REs on, but not necessarily the perfect ones, meaning people will get the perfect builds that they want to play. Anyway, they are my thoughts on the system. I'd love to know yours down in the comments section. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all very soon.